we'll do top 10 most dangerous race tracks.
Yeah.
The one from Jalopnik, that sounds fine with me. Jalopnik's usually pretty good.
And the 10 most dangerous cars. And hello, everyone. Welcome to another Hangout Live where we just talk about things. I am Ellie Lindenwood, and that's some croaky old guy.
Yeah, my name's Scott. I'm 90. I just turned 90 yesterday. I'm come here to teach you all lessons about tubes.
Tubes.
Fucking tubes. All right.
Hope you enjoyed the show last night.
That's why my voice is wrecked. I got way too into it, and I don't do many streams anymore, but you know, my favorite part about streams is just getting into like a character almost and just going ape shit with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so today we're going to continue with this car theme. I imagine over time we'll actually get a little bit more focused when it comes to cars, like actually writing our own scripts and shit. But for now, we're just going to read what other people fucking say because it's easier.
Then again, I don't write scripts. I just do improv. So let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's start off with the world's 10 most dangerous racetracks.
Okay.
This is according to Jalopnik, and anybody who's into vehicles, whether it's motorsport or just consumer-based vehicles, you know Jalopnik. It's a big website.
Yes.
For car culture. All right, so I am not the motorsports enthusiast that Elliot is, so I'm going to just mention these, read a little bit about them.
And I'll say words.
And Elliot will say words. I need to screen share this. Give me a second. Shit. Fuck shit. Tubes and fuck shit.
Snowmobile.
What?
Snowmobile. I watched the fucking baby getting killed about 20 times last night.
I like how that just stopped me dead in my tracks. I couldn't speak. Like, I was commentating, and then I realized, oh no, this is going to happen.
Oh, God. Okay, here we go. Let's have fun.
All right, we are screen sharing. All right, everybody can see. The world's most dangerous fucking racetracks. And there's a really cool picture of a guy wrecking, it looks like an F1 cart of some kind. I don't know. All right. I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm just going to get to the to the tracks.
Come on. Number
10. It is out west, and I bet you can guess. I'm going to give you one. I'm going to give you one clue. Taco Bell has this particular kind of sauce.
I don't know.
It's on their cheesy gordita crunch.
I don't eat the Taco Bell. I only eat the steak and potato burrito and the beefy 5-layer, so I don't know.
The Baja 1000.
Oh, that's not really a racetrack. That's just
desert.
A place. That's just a place where they race at. That's not really a track.
Well, that's okay.
I mean, I get it, but
I watched a little bit of it over the summertime, and it's still just as fucking cool as it ever was.
There's a great movie out. I think it was made about 15 years ago, but it's called Dust to Glory.
I think I saw bits of it. But yeah, that's always been one of my most favorite races, and mostly because those trophy trucks are just so fucking badass.
And you can run you can run any car you want. You can even run a fucking Winnebago.
Sure, I mean they got all those different classes in it, just like a lot of those endurance kind of races.
I want to run a Winnebago.
Like a souped up Winnebago or a stock one?
No, just stock.
You're not going to make it.
No, it didn't, actually.
There's like areas where it's just like, you know, a lot of it's like rocky sand, like real heavy. You can, but there's patches of that course where it's just like beach sand, where it's just loose sand. And
they also run motorcycles there too.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And those motorcycles don't have any navigators or anything.
They're just out there driving around.
Yep. What's next?
Well, I'm not going to just go through them like that. We're going to go. There's things here. Fatalities, uncertain. Major incident. In 2008, a driver for Team Malo was kidnapped for 9 days during the race. It was discovered during the high-intensity shootout that resulted in his rescue that his captors were former police officers. What the fuck?
That's Mexico.
That's fucking crazy.
That's Mexico.
I actually want to. I'm gonna have to put that onto the search Google.
I'll look it up.
I'm looking that up later. Kidnapping. Okay. All right. Back to it. Sorry. Shut the fuck up.
No.
All right. Why it's dangerous? The first timed run down the Baja Peninsula took place in 1962 as a publicity stunt for Honda motorcycles.
Yep.
Its first official running as a competitive event came in 1967 from Tijuana to La Paz.
Yep.
Since then, it's only grown bigger and more dangerous. Spectators will often build makeshift jumps and ramps because watching a dune buggy hit a surprise jump is way more fun than just watching it speed through the desert. More recently, the race has become embroiled in all kinds of gang warfare, with kidnappings and shootings that are part of each event. Yeah! What?
I think Parnelli Jones was part of the first event. I know he retired from Indy and became a Baja racer.
It's just seriously one of the coolest races on Earth.
That race is not going to continue for much longer.
Yeah, you might be right. I mean, as dangerous as it legitimately is, eventually
the gang thing kind of pushes it forward.
Yeah, I understand, but all of that, the gangs, the violence, the war, the fans, the audience, the teams, the actual vehicles themselves, the course, it's so awesome. It's such a good fucking race.
Or it might just be moved to a different place, like the Dakar Rally is now in South America now, not actually in Paris to Dakar. So.
Well, I hope it sticks around forever. I love it. Anyways, let's move on.
What's number 9?
Number 9. It is Targa Florio. Do you know how to pronounce that?
The Targa Florio. That race was in
Florio. Okay.
The boot of, or that was a Sicily. It was a race that lasted until like the 70s, I think, and it was just let's see what it says about it.
Fatalities are uncertain.
Yes, it was one of those open road races.
Okay. Major incident. Giulio Mazzeri was killed driving his 1926 Delage at the first turn of the race. His car wore the number 13, and since then, no other car in Targa Florio has had that number.
I think it's now revived as a historical race.
Like a bunch of old dudes and
I think so. I'm not sure because I remember they canceled in the 70s after it became a minor Italian club event, not a world championship anymore.
I was watching Jay Leno's Garage, and he ran in some kind of historical, like historical race or whatever.
Yeah. And
it was cool and all, but at the same time, there was a nagging feeling like, oh God, this is just a bunch of yuppies driving around in really expensive cars.
We'll get to that in a minute. Why is it dangerous?
All right. Why it's dangerous. In its most recent configuration from 1951 to 1977, the Targa Florio was 10 laps on a 45-mile course through the Madoni Mountains of Sicily. Competitors had to traverse mountain roads, switchback hairpins, gravel, mud, and spectators and buildings right up against the edge of the track. Famously, in 1974, it was declared too dangerous to be run as part of the WRC.
World Rally Champion, and also it was part of the World Sports Car Championship as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, rally. You could just top this list by just saying rally. Like, and a lot of those courses that rally go on are fucking crazy. I wonder if Pikes Peak's going to be on here.
We'll see. Further what?
What? Oh, further confirming its dangerous reputation. Period. The end.
It almost had a problem with bandits because a lot of bandits like to hang out over there, but the organizers of the event the Florio family decided to give them all jobs, basically, to give them all positions at the race so they wouldn't, shoot the drivers.
Well, yeah, I can imagine if you're a bandit, wait off in the distance with a rifle. If you could gank one of these fucking race cars and chop it up and sell that shit, you'd be pretty rich. That shit's expensive.
Well, it was more of just take the driver's money. They weren't exactly that,
forward thinking, I guess. All
What's
right.
next?
Number 8. And I'm going to butcher this. Spa-Francorchamps.
Well, the old Spa-Francorchamps circuit. I mean, the new ones. It was basically 9 miles, and you went through fucking villages, and yeah.
And it looks like F1.
Yeah.
Fatalities. 23.
Yep.
Drivers, all drivers. Major incident. In the 1960 Belgian Grand Prix, Chris Bristow was trying to keep his Cooper ahead on Willie Maurice's...
Wild Willie Maurice. Willie.
Okay. On his Ferrari on lap 20. He rolled his car in the Bernonville corner, decapitated himself. Damn! Sterling Moss had broken both his legs and several ribs the previous day at the same spot. That race that I told you about just a minute ago with Leno, Sterling Moss had the record there for driving over 120 miles an hour for over 2 hours straight, and back then it was like a huge deal.
One of the few deaths around Wild Willie that he actually wasn't responsible for. I mean, he was. How do I describe? Well, wild. I mean, he drove like.
Was he like Dale Earnhardt?
No, he was like something of a like the Tasmanian Devil on crack.
Well, I'm just drawing comparisons between other drivers.
Permanently bent left arm.
That makes me think maybe he was as aggressive as Senna, and in that way, but also aggressive like Dale Earnhardt.
He wasn't aggressive in the way he wasn't like Senna could actually get results. I mean, Willie was. He was aggressive, and then he'd crash. Permanently bent left arm. I think he killed himself with sleeping pills in the late 60s.
Wow.
By the way, at the end of that race, Alan Stacey, another driver, was killed in the.
Jesus.
So 2 drivers at that one race. There are so many other incidents in Spa, but yeah.
Why it's dangerous. Spa's Ile Rogue corner is one of the most loved in all of motorsport.
Eau Rouge, by the way.
Eau Rouge. Sorry, I'm going to butcher anything that's Italian. But
it's
also
French.
Huh?
It's French.
I don't give a fuck. I'm stupid.
Yes.
Is one of the most loved in all of motorsports, but also part of one of the most deadly tracks. Originally constructed in 1924, the track now bears little resemblance to its previous layouts. Since its opening, 23 drivers have lost their lives here.
Yep. I know. I've seen races at it.
You've watched on TV.
No, I've gone to Belgium. which I wish I could. What's next?
Shut up, Elliot.
I'm going to kill your voice. I'm going to
It's
make
already
you
dead.
No, it's you can still talk. I'm going to make you scream to the point where tomorrow you'd be like,
All right.
What's
Number
that?
7, Le Mans.
Well, yeah,
24 drivers dead.
yeah.
That's
Lamar.
you know, honestly, if it's just 24, I'm actually doesn't seem like a high number because that's
and
been
over
around.
100 spectators in one single crash.
Yeah. Okay. So this. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, major incident. Le Mans was also the site of the worst motor racing accident to date in 1955. You've shown me that picture several times.
Yes, I
Oh
have.
wait, no, wasn't that an Indy?
No,
It was the
I
Le
showed you
Mans.
the 55 Lamar disaster.
Okay, all right. Killing between 80 and 100 spectators and injuring another 120. So why don't you put that in your fatalities thing, you moron? Anyways.
Right. Well, because they're counting
Yeah,
driver fatalities, not spectator fatalities.
Yeah, but then okay, the reason I'm upset by it is it says fatalities and bold, colon, 24, parentheses, drivers.
Well, yeah, but there's no way to.
It's
I
just
don't know.
annoying. Fucking.
I don't know. Whatever.
As a result, all forms of racing were banned in several European nations until tracks there could be made more safe. While most nations have since lifted their bans, auto racing is still banned today in Switzerland. Fucking Swiss.
But there is like Swiss Formula 3 championships. They just race around like Germany and Italy. And, the country's near France. The country's near Switzerland.
So they just go across the border and do it.
Yeah. But I don't know why. In the 80s, there was a Swiss Grand Prix at Dijon in France. I always thought it was funny that it was. Why is it the Swiss Grand Prix? Well, then again, Italy had the San Marino Grand Prix for years.
Which was that Swiss or something?
San Marino is a little tiny kind of like a Monaco, although the Monaco Grand Prix is actually in Monaco, whereas the San Marino Grand Prix, which is San Marino's just outside Italy, was actually held in Imola in Italy. So it's confusing.
Wow.
Well,
a little bit weird.
It gets even funnier. In the 90s, they had the Luxembourg Grand Prix, and I thought, what the hell track is near Luxembourg? It was in the Hockenheim Ring in Germany.
Yeah.
They just called it the Luxembourg Grand Prix because Germany wanted two races.
Pretty. I mean, if it worked, it worked. Good for them.
It's politics, man.
Yeah. Of course. Why it's dangerous. Started in 1923. The 24 Hours of Le Mans is one of the most glamorous events in car racing. I don't, just to stop for a second, I think it's sad that ESPN and our major sports networks don't do it justice. They just don't. The coverage.
I listen to Radio Le Mans, so I just.
They don't. They do cover it, but I guess it might also be that the culture is different now because the video and photos you see from the olden days and it's early to mid life seems so much more like people were just so much more passionate about it.
Oh, but then again, there's still passion. I mean, but I listen to Radio Le Mans, the radio coverage of the entire race, so I got more of a feel for it.
I like, anyways, the circuit features a nearly 4-mile long straight on which cars have reached. I'm sorry.
Feature. They put a bunch of chicanes in to slow them down.
Oh, wow. On which cars have reached speeds up to 259.9 miles per hour. To date, the Circuit de la Sarthe, okay, has claimed the lives of 24 drivers.
Which, I mean,
that's probably gonna on this list. That's
a lot of it.
Probably the most famous.
A lot of it is, I mean, There've only been 2 deaths in the last 20 years, which is kind of amazing because the track's still very dangerous.
And it's one of the few.
There hasn't really been a. I mean, it's been
one of the
updated,
few-
but it's.
And I'm not the big motorsports guy here, but it's from my understanding, it's one of the few events where the architect, the engineers can actually play, right? Can actually.
Well, yeah, but also the drivers can also drive as well. It's a long story, but there's a lot of arcane rules that the Le Mans organizers that may seek to get rid of that. But let's just move on because that's a whole bunch of political.
Yeah, I know that you and I disagree on that. But anyways.
Well, no. I mean, there's a whole bunch of political things in motorsport going on right now with the World Endurance Championship that, frankly, I don't understand. So I'm not going to comment on it until I understand it because it's retarded.
The number 6 selection here today is in Florida.
Okay, probably Daytona.
You're correct. International Speedway.
Which makes sense, seeing as how the only way they can get NASCAR stock cars to race on is to put restrictor plates on it. I mean, you're like, well, the cars, they just go around in circles. Have you ever seen a 31-degree bank?
Yeah, I've been to Daytona.
I mean, I hate watching races at Daytona and Talladega because I keep thinking they're going to kill someone. I hate those races, and I hate the rest.
I still am not a fan of oval racing. But I've grown to respect it more. The more I learn about drag racing, the more I learn about even how NASCAR cars are set up and how they're driven. They're actually very difficult. I remember
no form of racing is easy.
I just mean I remember seeing Richard Hammond get in and drive one around a track, and he commented that it's unlike any, like, you think you know what they're doing, you don't know what they're doing.
I'd like to put everyone who disses ovals in a sprint car.
I'd rather see all the chicanes and stuff. I'd rather see all the twisties and turnies. 900
horsepower.
Yeah, I understand. It's not that I disrespect it. I used to.
It is insane.
But I just think it's inherently more fun to watch all the twisty turny stuff.
It really depends on the series. I mean, oval racing could be as fun as watching paint dry. Then again, F1 racing, which is always on oval or road courses, is about as much fun as watching paint dry these days.
It just depends, yeah. It
How
really
many
does.
Fatalities?
28 drivers.
Yeah, okay.
Major incident. You know what they're going to talk about.
Yeah, the Dale Earnhardt one.
The death of Dale Earnhardt on the final lap of the 2001 Daytona 500 is certainly one of the most legendary. Racing for his second win at the 500, Earnhardt hit the wall at about 160 miles per hour, killing him.
Racing for a second win. He was racing to get his team to win. He was blocking to get his two because Michael Walsh was leading and Dale Jr. was in second.
He just means he was in the race, and of course he wants to win. But yeah, he was by the end of the race. By the end of the race, he was in no position to win. So he
wanted to get his team, the DEI cars, to win.
Yeah, of course. It killed him instantly. It was referred to as Black Sunday by the sporting press, a title that keeps it to this day. A title that it keeps to this day.
I don't think that's. I mean, that was a major incident, but as far as like the deadliest at Daytona,
well, it's the most famous incident.
But then again, I could still remember it. So
that's what I mean. It's the most notable one.
Okay.
There's a couple of things about that, and I hate saying this, but that was, if I remember correctly, when they introduced the Hans device, and he refused to wear it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he basically didn't want to wear it because he didn't feel comfortable in it. He did not feel comfortable basically having his head locked in place. Which, if you grew up on dirt tracks, you'd understand that.
Yeah, well, and also, we're talking about at the time, what was he, like 55, 60 years old?
49.
49? Okay, so
He
he'd
was
been
doing 50
racing.
that year.
He'd been racing, I mean,
and watching his dad race
30
for
years.
years. So it wasn't, I mean, he wasn't stupid. He just, that was his preference. I mean, he liked open face helmets. He liked sitting on a, I think was it a Jeep seat rather than the racing seat. It was his preference. And
we should keep talking. Like, there's some actually, like just that opening sentence. It was the final lap, right? That makes it eerie. It makes it creepy. And also, anyone who saw the accident knows that it looked innocuous. It looked like any other wreck, except no, he died instantly.
Well, if you watch it, you know it looks uglier than it actually is.
Well, I'm talking about watching when you saw it happen live. It did not look like a death.
When you watch the replay, though, when you watch the replay and you actually see it, Darrell Waltrip actually had to stop himself because he's like, I heard him said that.
Let's watch that real quick.
That's the track. That's one of those wrecks that you don't. And he was about to say you don't survive, but of course he's not going to say that.
Okay, I want to watch.
It looks innocuous, but it.
Hold on. I got to get to the screen share and fix all this shit.
Well, and it was a fleeting glimpse. They were focusing on the winner, Michael Waltrip.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a fleeting glimpse. I mean, they literally, if you listen to the commentary, oh look, there's a big wreck behind him.
Okay, so, all right, I'm screen sharing. Okay, 6 minutes long. Fuck that.
No. Do the 6 minute long one. It has has replay. You need replays.
All it's doing is covering the last.
No.
I just want to see the wreck.
Yeah, you need a replay of the wreck. You don't just need the live feed of the wreck. You need the replay. Just watch it. Stop bitching.
Okay.
Jesus
okay.
Christ.
Fine. No sound either. I didn't want to try to hear it. Let's. Ba-ba-dee-ba.
Oh, yes. I guess it's.
He definitely had the coolest looking car in NASCAR.
Waltrip's in front. Dale Jr.'s in second.
Was that the first year Junior raced?
No, that was second. He won 2 races his first year. It was the first year Michael Waltrip raced with
Dude, it's so, like, I can feel my heartstrings being pulled watching father and son. It's the last lap. Like, dude, this definitely is the one you bring up.
And his teammate who went 460-something starts without winning a race is in first place.
Oh, my God, dude. It's heartbreaking. That is fucking heartbreaking. Yeah, I mean, that if you're going to bring up dangerous Daytona stuff, you have to talk about this one.
Look at the replay, though, and you see that it's not really an innocuous crash. I mean, you'd think, but...
Well, anybody else watching this, leave a comment and tell us what you think. Okay, so the wreck happened. All right, you see it back there. The camera people don't even focus on it.
No, because big wrecks happen all the time at Daytona.
Yeah.
They're going to race back to the flag.
So, unbelievably, I think that's Waltrip right there crying because of what's his name won?
His brother won.
Yeah. What a heartbreaking fucking wreck, dude. Seriously.
Just watch the replay.
Not just the wreck itself, but everything that happened around it.
I mean, it was such a happy day too. I mean, he got his first win and then that happened.
And it was because Senior was running protection basically.
Well, he wasn't doing anything malicious, and
he was just doing what teams do.
And the crash wasn't anyone's fault.
He was just doing what you do to help your teammate win.
I'll stress that the crash was no one's fault.
All right, so get back to the replay, please.
People blamed Sterling Marlin for that. I think he's in the 40 car.
Crashes like that happen all the fucking time.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why they didn't really pay attention to it, because it was...
Okay, so now we see Junior running. He probably was told. All right, here's the replay. Rusty Wallace is right behind him.
Yeah.
Okay, Earnhardt went squirrely all by himself.
He got
loose. I'm sorry, dude. That wreck does not look fatal. It just doesn't. It's
called blunt force trauma.
I understand that.
If you flip your car, the energy will dissipate.
I understand that, but the way it looks, it doesn't look like it would kill somebody.
To people who know, I mean, that's why like people.
I don't see how anybody could blame Sterling Marlin for that.
No, I don't. I think they think he got into him.
No, he didn't.
I don't.
I'm watching right now. Okay, I want to pause the video for everyone to see. Sterling Marlin, he drove the Coors car, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He is not touching Junior or touching Senior.
No.
Who drove 36?
Ken Schrader.
Okay. He is not touching Senior.
Nope.
Rusty Wallace is right behind him. Nobody's touching anybody.
He got squirrely.
There's the squirrely. Nobody touched anybody. Earnhardt is facing in towards the infield now. He overcorrects. Man, like, dude, that's so fucking sad.
Did he hit the wall, driver? Did he hit the wall? It looks actually. If you know what you're looking at, it looks a lot worse than it is if you're just like a casual fan. I mean, even Darrell Waltrip had to stop. He was like, "That's one of those crashes that you don't survive from."
What were you gonna ask?
What was the angle of him hitting the wall? Was it the front side or was it the
passenger side hit first?
Yeah.
All right. And he's probably at 70-degree angle.
Yeah.
Schrader, I don't know. Let me see something here. I want to see if Schrader hit first. Earnhardt hit first, and Schrader got pinned. Dude, I gotta stop. That's getting me kind of choked up.
It's the unspectacular crashes that are usually the worst.
Well, also in racing, it's true that if a car looks like it's going slow, it's actually kicking ass, especially in the twisty turny stuff.
I'm gonna have to watch that wreck again.
Which one?
The Earnhardt one, just to hear the commentary in here.
Well, maybe we'll do that at the end.
I'll do that after the hangout. Anyway, why is it dangerous? Why is Daytona dangerous?
Let me get back to that.
I know why, but just
let me get back to it. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Okay, make sure I am. Okay. All right. According to the Orlando Sentinel, since its opening in 1959, Daytona International Speedway has claimed 28 drivers. The track is banked at 31 degrees in the corners and 18 degrees on the start-finish straight. And that's all it says.
That's all it needs to say. I mean, those cars, if it didn't have restriction plates, they go 230. I mean, Indy cars tried racing at Daytona, and they were going 180 in 1959. Keep in mind, at Indy, they hadn't even gone 150 yet, and they were going 180 at Daytona. In those front-engine roadsters with no aerodynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Needless to say George Amick died.
Or like that fucking 200 horsepower thing you showed me.
That would be
seriously. Well, no, I'm going to save that for when we talk about cars, because seriously, that car was crazy. Monza.
What's next?
Number 5, Monza. Wow.
It's really hard to disagree with that one, actually, especially the oval. Holy
Take a guess. How many fatalities?
A
Drivers.
shitload. A
Just take a
shitload. I
guess.
know. Let's see, Compowdery, trips. I'm gonna say at least 15.
Way cold. Low. You're low.
I don't know.
Keep
Just tell me. 30.
42.
Jesus.
42.
Well, okay, I guess that makes sense because unlike, say, Daytona or Le Mans, they use that track year round. See, okay, Daytona's been used year round now, but Le Mans is used once a year. And in any other circuits at Le Mans, any other races at Le Mans, they use the so-called Bugatti circuit, which is a shorter circuit. So that may explain a little. But Monza, it's used year round by fucking local Italian club series on that track.
Well, let's do a little math here. Opened in 1922, so that's what? Let's say 80. Let's say 97, 99 years. Something like that.
Let's take off about 7 or 8 because of World War II, and it's trying to rebuild the track. So let's just say 9.
Roughly, almost 100 years. Okay,
and only 42.
So nearly once every year, every other year, someone died.
Yeah.
Wow. The major incident.
Note,
the fatal 1961 crash of Wolfgang von Trips and his 156 Sharknose Ferrari put an end to Formula One cars on the bank section of the track's oval course, and to von Trips' world championship hopes, which he would have won that year. Fuck.
I don't think he would have won. Phil Hill won that race, but still.
No, they're talking about the championship.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying I don't think it was basically whoever would win the race would win the championship. That's how the points were. And Phil Hill did win that race, and he won the championship. So I don't know if Trips would have won.
How early into the race did he crash?
Like lap 3. He and Jimmy Clark touched wheels, okay? Now, that was not Jim Clark's fault, although he was charged with manslaughter because welcome to Italy. They touched wheels. And have you ever seen what happens when 2 open wheel cars touch wheels?
One usually goes airborne.
He went airborne and basically plunged into the crowd. I think he killed, 20-something spectators?
Oh, my God.
And the race continued, by the way.
Well, of course it did. I mean,
Phil Hill drove on to claim his last ever Formula. He was the only American world champion, unless you count Mario Andretti, who was born in Italy.
Unbelievable, dude. Motorsports is the
cruelest fucking sport.
It is. It's the most epic sport on the planet. It is.
And by the way, I wonder if those 42 drivers also count the numerous motorcycle riders, because they race motorcycles at that track too.
Ah, man.
And I've seen some nasty ass spills.
I don't know, but we'll go on here. Why it's dangerous. Opened in 1922, Monza is one of the oldest tracks on the list. Once the home of the banked Parabolica corner, Parabolica corner.
That's where they touched wheels and crashed.
The track used to cross over itself in its old configuration. Now, some of the highest speeds on the Formula One calendar are reached there.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
42 in just under 100 years.
And fucking, they don't race the oval anymore
because of this wreck.
Well, they raced kind of a combination banked and road course. And I remember in the early 1930s, 3 drivers were killed on the oval
during one race
meeting. Well, basically it was a 3 heat race, and 2 drivers, 2 star drivers, Compari and I believe Bakanan Borzacchini, were killed. And on the 3rd race, the guy who won the 1st race was burned to death.
Wow. You know, people will say MMA is the most, and no, not even fucking close. Not even close. Motorsports destroys.
I've never seen an MMA fighter killed.
I mean, it does happen, but it's got nothing on this.
I've seen it in person. So what's next?
Don't get me. I like MMA, but it's got nothing on this. I mean,
I don't know shit about MMA.
Anyways, Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Enough said, really.
Guess how many? Just take a guess.
Well, by 1952, the number was, or 1953, the number was 31. So I don't know.
Well, that's low. So
yeah,
take one more guess.
God, Vukovic, 50,
42.
And if you think about, there hasn't been a death. Well, other than a couple. Well, okay, there hasn't been a death at the Indy 500 since 1982. And there's been no deaths at the Brickyard. I know there were a couple motorcycle riders who were killed. One of them was in the Rookies Cup. And we're just talking about drivers. We're talking about riding mechanics or crews.
I'm pretty sure they're just talking about drivers.
Or spectator. I mean, it might look innocuous today but even this year I saw some pretty. Indy always kind of gives me a little bit of a pit in my stomach feeling because
that's a fast fucking course, right?
Yeah. Did you see the crash today or this year where I think it was Dixon was flying over and one of the other cars went underneath him?
No. Let's worth watching.
2017 Indy 500 Scott Dixon crash. Sorry, my dog's barking. Just ignore her.
PIX?
Dixon, yes.
Okay. All right. Make sure I'm screen sharing correctly. And I am.
It's easy.
All right. All right. So let me restart so everyone can see. Damn, dude. Okay. The camera just caught it. Okay. So they're going to do a replay. It just looks nasty.
There were other crashes. Bourdais had a huge crash that kept him out for most of the season and that year. So, yeah.
All right, let's get to the replay here, guys.
This
Come on, ABC.
God, I fucking hate ABC.
Come on, ABC. Yeah, you're right. You can tell when we watched it together. The commentators are disinterested as fuck. They're there to do a job, and that's it.
You have to admit that was fun watching it together.
It was, but you're right about these commentators. They don't give a shit.
Nope. Sad, isn't it?
Why don't they just fucking find 3 or 4 guys who actually care?
Well, ABC is about to end their IndyCar thing. They just laid off Bestwick and
who's going to pick it up?
Probably NBC, who does the other IndyCar races.
NBC seems to have someone there seems to have a passion for motorsport.
Although, did you know ESPN's doing Formula One next year?
Oh, well, ESPN I don't like them.
I don't know who the hell's. Well, yeah, they're the same guy as ABC. I don't know who the hell's going to commentate.
Yeah, ESPN is like Disney. They just straight up make shit up, dude.
They were good until about 2004, and then they started messing with the podcasting.
The best evidence I ever saw. Okay, time out. I'll tell you in a second. I want to watch the slow motion replay here.
Yeah.
All right, Jay Howard, the number 77 car, middle of the track. He's
laps down, by the way.
Drifting towards the wall. He just smacks the wall.
Yeah, he's laps down. He should not be allowed on the track right now.
Okay. Oh, my God. Yeah, airborne as fuck.
And Jay Howard tried blaming Dixon for that wreck, by the way.
Dude, Dixon is so lucky how he landed the first impact. I got to go back. All right, everybody watching this.
Jay tried blaming Dixon for this one.
Really? Well, we'll rewatch it in detail. But I want to point something else to the viewers here. All right, so watch the wall and keep in mind where Dixon's head is. Okay, so, oh, shit, my bad. Fuck. Come on. All right.
It's so weird.
Keep in mind where Dixon's head is, and watch how the car lands on the retaining wall. All right? Back rear quarter panel smacks about another foot and another, I don't know, 10 degrees of rotation.
Yeah.
It's landing directly on his head.
Go back and look at it in slow motion in detail really quick.
That's what I'm doing.
So there's Jay Howard, by the way, is multiple laps down in everyone's way.
Look at that car. And just to drive the point home for people watching, look at this monocoque. Okay, you see his head there. As I described, when he landed on this wall, it was the rear quarter panel that hit. All right, that's maybe what, a foot from the driving cockpit.
Yep. I had to say, I'm not really a fan of Dolores' design, but they do make a strong ass car.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go a little bit more, and I just want everybody to look how vulnerable he is. And the thing is, though, if that would have happened, it would have been such a freak thing to have happened.
Much
to
like
wreck
Justin Wilson a couple
and
years
flip
ago.
just right to land on your head.
Yeah, but it's happened before. Well, the weirdest one I could think of was Justin Wilson a couple years ago. He died. He was not involved in a crash, but a piece of suspension hit him in the head.
Damn.
But okay, let's go back and look at it in detail.
All right, so I want to
watch Dixon's car.
Okay, so I'm just going to describe it. Jay Howard
in the way
is laps behind, apparently, from what Elliot said. He is experiencing understeer and drifting towards the outer retaining wall. Smacks against it.
Yeah.
Turns back in. Dixon has no time to react. Plows right into him.
Watch Dixie's car, though.
Well, yeah, I mean,
look at Castroneves, though.
He's just gone.
He literally went underneath that car. And I have to wonder,
he totally did. Holy shit.
I have to wonder what Castroneves was thinking in that space. Probably like, I think I've just seen the last Scott Dixon ever. Oh my god.
He might I bet if you're in that situation, you're not even thinking. You're just driving. Right? You're just driving. Just like Dixon was.
That was literally the scariest crash I think I've seen I've seen plenty of, but
now this Ray Howard had the nerve to blame Dixon for this. Why? What did he say?
God, I'll have to look at the interview. I want to look at because there's the broadcast on YouTube.
That's worth getting. Okay, Ray Howard.
Jay Howard.
We're gonna roast this son of a bitch. Blames.
He's a failure.
Dixon.
He's a failure. He hasn't raced an IndyCar in 5 years.
Jay Howard blames Hunter Ray for his crash.
Oh, it was Hunter Ray. I'm sorry, Hunter Ray.
He blamed Hunter Ray
either.
Hunter Ray. What car is Hunter Ray in?
Oh fuck!
One ahead of him.
Hang on a second.
I don't understand how he can blame anybody. There's nobody close to him.
No. I think Hunter Ray's the Oh fuck. No, but no matter who Hunter Ray is, it's not his fault. I mean, I don't like Ryan Hunter Ray.
There was nobody. There was nobody within 20 feet of him, so nobody could have taken his draft. Nobody could have taken anything. Nobody touched him. Nothing. He had understeer, and he was drifting up towards the wall. Didn't slow down. Hit the wall. Came back in and got plowed over by another driver who didn't have time to react.
Hunter Ray's in the 28 DHL car.
DHL? That's way ahead of him.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
I've never really cared about it. He's been a failure all his career, and I'll blame Hunter. I'm not a big Hunter Ray fan. I'll blame Hunter Ray for a lot of things. I saw him take 2 cars out of Long Beach. But yeah.
Dude, if you're involved in an accident like this where fatality was very close, you don't say shit, right?
Who was Howard driving for?
Don't you just say, I'm glad everyone's okay?
Yes, his greatest finish, by the way, Scott, was I think like the 14th with an 18 car field. Jay Howard.
Well, he needs to be kicked off the circuit for saying shit like that. That's bullshit.
He was in the. Oh, he was
That
in
makes
the.
me legitimately angry, man.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah, I
piece of
thought that
shit.
was just. Yeah, well, I've never been a fan of his anyway. I mean, he won an Indy Lights championship with 10 cars on the grid, big deal, and just he's. I hope we see the back of him.
Let's continue. Number 3, the Paris-Dakar Rally.
In all its variations. Now, I don't know how many people died here. I'm just gonna just tell me.
The number here is 45.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Major incident. Pascal Terry died on the course after running out of fuel. Miscommunication by the race officials confused his brother for him. And so no search was started until 3 days later when it was already too late. God damn. That's fucking brutal.
You know, Jackie Ickx, one of the greatest racing drivers in the world, you know, Formula One race winner, Le Mans winner, he actually won that race.
So dude didn't even die because of a wreck. He just died because fucking exposure? Really?
Yeah. It should never have happened.
Of course not. Anyways, why it's dangerous. Run from Paris to Dakar, Senegal since 1979. The Dakar Rally sends drivers and navigators over some of the roughest terrain on the planet. Starting last year, the race has been moved to South America due to safety concerns, but we're focusing on the original routes from Europe to North Africa.
Concerns mean an Islamic terrorist group threatened to kidnap people. And by the way, this is a couple years old. What?
Of course they did.
This is a couple of years old, apparently.
You know, that seems like something that Europe would be so passionate about that they would send military.
Yeah, but it's just a race, so why not just move it to South America?
Why not get, you know, some helicopters with, you know,
because no one knew who it was, or it wasn't worth basically risking the lives of a bunch of civilians. Just I don't even think it was in Europe. It was in the African part anyway.
Right on.
Yeah.
Anyways, fucking goddamn Muslims running shit. Anyways, starting last year, the race has been moved to South America due to safety concerns, but we're focused on the original routes from Europe to North Africa. All told, 45 competitors have lost their lives somewhere along the way, and untold numbers of spectators. The race averages a little under one competitor death per year, with the most recent last year, which let's find out when this was written.
And the South America course is, of course, very dangerous as well.
This article is 7 years old.
Yeah, okay. Still, okay, what's number 2?
Number 2, Nuremberg, Nordschleife.
Nürburgring, Nordschleife. Well, okay. God, I don't even know how many deaths, because I don't know how many races run on it.
I can't imagine that this number is correct, because so many people drive on that thing. Like,
well, they're talking about drivers and races, not.
They're just talking about races.
Yeah, they're not talking
All
about.
Right, fine. 52 fatalities.
That's a lot, though.
Especially since it's not exactly that old, is it? Well,
no, it is
the 20s.
Well,
the 20s,
but F1 stopped racing on in the 70s. The only series races on it now is the VLN, which only races on it. But yeah, they haven't had like a bunch of professional racing since the 90s, or very early 90s. So that is still pretty impressive. I think it's impressive just how many have not died.
Right. Now, if you counted just people, because they opened that shit to the public, and
yes, they do.
I can't imagine. Anyways, major incident. Perhaps most famously, the track is where Ferrari driver Niki Lauda nearly died in 1976.
I will maintain, and I'm sure you know about that crash, I will maintain if that was 3 years before, or 4 years before, or a decade before, he would have been dead.
I don't know about that crash. We'll look it up here in a second.
He was burned badly.
Maybe I know about it. I don't know.
Have you ever seen the movie Rush?
No.
No.
He was issued the last rights by a priest, only to return to Formula One racing 2 races later in Italy. Damn, what a badass.
It won 2 more championships.
What a fucking badass. Why it's dangerous. Famously referred to by Sir Jackie Stewart as the Green Hell. Since its construction in the 1920s, the Nordschleife has taken the lives of 52 drivers, the most recent being Leo Lowenstein in April of this year, 2010, in a Aston Martin V8 Vantage. He didn't even have the fucking DB9 or the fucking Vanquish.
Or the V12 Vantage.
He didn't do it in the V12s. He did it in the V.
Oh, you know what? I can't hate the V8, Scott, because I heard that son of a bitch in action.
Well, I know it's badass fucking engine, but the thing about Aston Martin is always going to be about that 12.
See, I'm almost inclined to agree and disagree at the same time because I heard that son of a bitch in action.
Yeah, but listen to a V12.
Scott.
I mean,
Orgasmic.
Oh yeah, and V12 will do the same thing to you.
Oh,
Aston Martin has one of the most gorgeous engine notes ever.
True, but it was a little bit weird because it sounded like an American muscle car.
Well, yeah, and that's the one thing that American engineering has always had on European engineering: the exhaust note. European
V8 sound cool, but the American ones.
That kind of thing.
What's number one here?
It's way lopsided in terms of fatalities. The Isle of Man, TT.
Well, yeah. I'm not even gonna fucking guess because whatever the number is, it keeps growing.
227.
Yeah, that is one of the most fucking dangerous tracks I've ever just. And by the way, Scott, that's 7 years old. I would 20 more.
They do not have a incident of note.
No, because there's too many.
They have why it's dangerous. With riders on motorcycles reaching top speeds around 180 miles per hour on single-lane country roads.
200 now.
It's almost surprising the Isle of Man hasn't claimed more than 227 lives in its 103-year history. Oh my God. That's wow.
And the number keeps growing.
It is by far the most dangerous course on this top 10 list. I can't imagine there being another one that tops that. No.
37 miles.
All right, so
37 miles.
We wanted to do something here.
Narrow, one-lane Isle of Man roads with cars, with bikes that can go
crotch
200 miles an hour.
We're talking crotch rockets here, and
no, we're talking crotch missiles.
Yeah, I know
super bikes.
Those things are fucking retarded. I'm sorry, I don't get those.
I
don't understand them. I know what they do. I understand. I don't understand why anybody would be so inclined as to want to actually get on one and race it.
Because it's fantastic.
It's so dangerous, though. You're asking for it when you get on one of those things.
You know, that's the same thing a lot of people said about sprint cars. Didn't stop your relation, though, did it?
No, but those are on 4 wheels. You're less likely to fucking crash in one of those.
Sprint cars, not so much.
It's just a more stable platform for a vehicle.
I mean,
4 wheels.
You'd be surprised how rare people. I mean, the Isle of Man, because the Isle of Man isn't just a professional category thing. They let amateurs on. You could enter if you wanted to. If you had a bike, you could enter
Maybe someday, like NASCAR, I'll come to have a respect for it. But as of right now, I just look at it and I'm like, why? Like, you're on a bicycle, basically, going 200 miles an hour. Like, and it's not like a street cruiser where you get to sit back on the back wheel. No,
you're not supposed to sit back. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to be
ridiculous.
But look, the reason the Isle of Man is so much bigger is Indianapolis has standard. Like, you know, you can't build a car and race at Indy. Okay,
right.
You can't build a car or bike and race the Isle of Man, but you can race the Manx Grand Prix, which is later in the year, which is built for amateurs.
I complain about bikes being dangerous and stuff, but at the same time, I would absolutely love an annual or every 2-year event where it's, you know, bring what you've made. Okay, bring your customs, bring your own creations. They'll spend like 2 weeks categorizing and putting them into classes. All right, and then run your races. I would love to see something like that.
What's the problem with it being dangerous? I mean, people who
I'm not.
You don't get on a motorcycle going, I'm going to be completely safe. You go on a bike
I'm not saying it's because it's dangerous. I'm saying it's like, it's the kind of dangerous where it's like you deserve a Darwin Award. Like,
you're overemphasizing the danger. If you know what you're doing.
Yeah, but one mistake at 200 miles an hour. I mean,
sure. One mistake in an IndyCar, 250 miles an hour.
Fine. I will backpedal and admit that what I said was stupid. But I still don't like those things.
You're a pussy.
No, I'm not. I just think they're a little too. I'm a man. That kind of thing going on there.
No, it's not. I'm a man. It's basically just I love fast riding and. Okay,
I'll make a deal with you. I will watch a fucking super bike race with you. And during the course of that race, if I'm convinced of like getting into it, then I'll drop everything I ever said bad about it. All right?
Okay, fine.
All right, so
let's move on to the 10 dangerous cars.
Those were tracks, ladies and gentlemen. Now we want to talk about the most dangerous cars according to CarThrottle.com.
CarThrottle.com.
What a dumb name.
Like Scott Vogler.
Yeah, CarThrottle. Kind of like house door handle. Or fucking, keyboard button.
Stop it. Just read it.
Sink nozzle.
Okay, we get it. Jesus.
All right.
Christ.
Actually, I saw this one in a review, and the guy was saying why it was dangerous. Huh?
What the fuck does jalopnik mean?
I think it's a play on words.
Yeah, I know.
Jalopy.
Anyway, what's number 10?
I think I saw this in a review, and he explained why it's dangerous. Number 10 is a Nissan 180 by 240 SX. I
know fuck all about this car.
Okay, so many cars are more dangerous than the Nissan A240 SX, but it's more to do with the people who drive them. Okay, you know what? I'm already not interested.
Just read the fuck. Stop complaining. Read it. God.
He's complaining about the people driving it, not the actual mechanics of the car.
Well, yes, because that's a component of the car is the people who drive it. I mean, left by itself, the Yugo is the safest thing in the world.
Many of their drivers are young, crazy, and have no fear of death. This is a drift car. But should everyone have a drift car? Should some kid high on Red Bull and adrenaline be allowed to be behind the wheel?
No,
yes,
I think no.
But I can still laugh.
You need to drift in a fucking responsible area.
Is not everyone has a fucking high horsepower Japanese drift car.
Yeah, but these aren't. I mean, these usually, it's usually in reach of kids.
So, I mean, they're showing a little GIF here, and kid in the rain, does the little drift thing and runs the back quarter panel into a light post, and it fucks his car up.
And that's what happens because kids.
That's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
let's move on.
I agree with having this on because, I mean, the Ford Pinto would be the safest car in the world if you just never drove it. But if you drove it and smashed into something, then it's not safe.
My whole idea about this was that there's something about the actual car itself that made it dangerous.
Well, there is something about the actual car itself that makes this car dangerous. And that's, it inspires people.
I bet nobody here knows the ratio between people who own these cars who are good at it and kids who suck at it.
Well, it doesn't even matter. You shouldn't be drifting like that. You should be drifting somewhere where you can't hit anything.
At a track, perhaps?
Yeah, at a track. How about that?
How about that? All right, let's move on to number 9. The Peel P50. Little three-wheel mobile. I need to make
little
sure.
What mobile?
It's a little three-wheeled, little buggy-looking thing. All right. I guarantee that thing sucks to drive. Anytime you have these like little bubble cars where you're just surrounded by glass, it's gotta suck. It's gotta be hot as balls in there. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, real quick, before moving on, I watched a video of a guy doing one of those air sails, or a lot of people call them gliders.
Yeah.
And those things, the monocoque is just a big glass dome, okay? And when he got out, during his flight, he was saying, I smell something burning. Something's burning. And his person was like, no, you're fine. Shut up. Well, they land. The sun went through the glass bubble and burned a hole in the fucking seat.
Yep.
Anyways, let's go on.
Yes.
A lovable little classic that is the Peel P50, the smallest car in the world.
Aww. In the world.
Yeah. The same trait that makes this car good, its size, also makes it very dangerous. If you were to be hit by another car, honestly, you're almost better off as a pedestrian. At least then you can try to jump out of the way.
Yeah.
But in this thing, good luck escaping with your head on your body.
I would imagine even a Mustang would be.
I would imagine even a Pinto would destroy this thing. I would imagine even a Chevette.
I would imagine even worse. Jim running into the side of it would destroy it.
No. This is the car we need to get for Jim. Listen, his idea of a performance car, because he hates when we talk about cars, his idea was to create something that gets less than a mile per gallon. Starts up. He just was making fun of us anyways. And when it starts up, it just grinds gears and just burns oil and doesn't run at all. And just imagine him in this little tiny blue bubble car.
Question. Can he fit?
He might not be able to, which would make it even better.
he's hanging out the side of the window.
Oh, let me get in this son of a bitch here. I'm fucking close the door. Close the door. I can fit.
That's your impression of Jim, a 90-year-old prospector.
Prospector? What? Honestly, no. Good thing this car never caught on, because so many young people would die trying to look like Jeremy Clarkson.
That's true.
Now, Wait, they're referring to the Reliant Robin episode where he was flipping the thing on purpose, not the Peel P50.
It wasn't. Well, it wasn't.
He did do the peel though. Okay, never mind. He did do the peel. He drove it through. He took it into the BBC headquarters, went up the elevator, drove through the office building and shit.
Look at me!
Clarkson's just the man.
And by the way, he did kind of flip it on purpose, but it was actually really easy because the camera weight unbalanced it. So he didn't really even have to try. He just literally drove it.
That is one of the funniest episodes of Top Gear.
It's not quite as fake as you think.
No, I don't think Top Gear is as fake as people charge it to be. I'm sure they set stuff up, but I don't have any reason to suspect that they set everything up. Like,
yep. Well,
why would they do that?
Well, I don't know. What's next year?
Number 8. The Porsche 930 911 Turbo.
Yeah. Okay.
Rear engine flat.
6. Flat.
Right.
I love this car, but why is it dangerous? Tell me, Cosmicgodsdie.
There is a newspaper clipping of a Porsche 911 Turbo on an embankment. All right, I'm going to read the little transcript underneath the picture from the newspaper clipping. This has nothing to do with car throttle.
Come on.
Accident. A car is facing the wrong way on the center divider Tuesday after hydroplaning on the Costa Mesa 55 freeway. All right, so maybe something to do with
it's in California.
Sucking in water. They don't call this car a widowmaker for nothing. The reason this car is so dangerous is that it is rear engined. Yeah, but so are all other ones.
No. Keep reading.
Had lots of turbo power with unpredictable lag and no traction control in the rear-wheel drive car with tires unbefitting of such a beast of a car. Okay, now it makes sense. You have a car.
50 years.
You have a car.
They spent 50 years getting a rear-engine car to actually handle, which is such a. We could, move the engine a few inches forward.
Right.
All we could spend.
They did
billions of. Or we could get this in. But that's the thing. They took 50 years to finally get. Yeah. So, okay, so you have a rear engine car, which is already unstable. You have rear-wheel drive rear engine car. Basically, the front end just is basically hanging out there, keeping the tires.
Basically lifting off the ground every time you hit the throttle.
Well, and basically the front end job is to keep the.
With turbos. 2 turbos.
And with 2 turbos and with bad tires and no traction control.
Dude,
which is all right if your name is Jörg Bergmeister or Pat Long, 2 Porsche factory racing drivers, it's all right. You could if your name is Scott Vogler.
I can imagine some yuppie buying one of these, all right, getting it off the lot, okay, and gunning it for the first time. All right, not understanding how turbos work, not understanding that turbos have to spool up, and then your engine will hit a certain RPM along its power band, and that son of a bitch will kick in. I can imagine many people wrecked their car within the first 30 minutes.
It gets better though, Scott. And then you add in water.
Mm-hmm.
So you have this beast of a car with turbo lag, with no traction control, and then it rains.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to anybody who ever mastered driving that thing.
I don't think they did. I think they're all dead.
That thing is just ridiculous.
You know what though? The sad thing, I want it.
Well, here's how I never really liked Porsche. I always thought they looked kind of funny. Once I learned more about how they were built, I thought even less of them. However, once they finally got the formula down, that modern version of the 911 is an incredible machine.
I want you to look at that picture really quick and tell me if it's air cooled or water cooled.
I have no idea.
Look at the back window. Do you see slits?
It's not clear enough. It's grainy.
Wait, what's the car called again? No. What's the car called again?
Do you mean slits as in like actual vents?
Yes. What's the car called again?
No, there's no vents.
What's this car called?
911 Turbo, or actually, the Porsche 930.
930.
There are no vents from what I can see.
Hang on. I need to find out. I need to find something out. 930. Okay. Okay. Porsche 911 Turbo. 1975.
Yeah, but you need to look up, if you want this specific one, it's the Porsche 930.
1975 through 1977. It is air cooled. I love it. I want it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those older ones though, dude, they're fucking scary.
They're what?
They're scary as fuck.
Yeah, that's why you get a. I mean, because it looks so innocuous. It looks like a beefed up Volkswagen.
Porsche is one of those cars that wants to kill you.
Well, yeah, that's why you'd get it. I mean, well, if I'm going to get a supercar, I'm not going to get a nice cuddly car.
Well, I mean, modern supercars are so well engineered that basically grandma could get in one and learn how to drive it.
And why do you think they bore me, Scott? I mean, I like some of them, but why do you think most of them bore me?
I prefer 1995 and back.
I want
that
80s.
Doesn't mean though that I don't respect these modern ones, like a Koenigsegg. That thing is incredible.
Oh, yeah, but I want something from the 80s. I want something with turbo that just all of a sudden just
blows up.
Oh yeah,
like on a Ferrari F40, there's these two bladders that they use to get fuel into the engine. Okay, what a ridiculous idea. It was to save weight, though. And there's chemicals in the gas, some detergents, that eat away at the rubber in these bladders. Yep. And you have to have them replaced every 5 years, I think it was. Yeah. Guess how much it cost?
$20,000. Yeah.
It's $20,000, $10,000 per one.
If you put
if you don't do it
if you put better tires on that thing and knew how to drive it.
Which one are we talking about? Porsche?
The Porsche.
Okay.
If you just put, because the real problem is tires and inexperienced drive. If you put better tires on that thing and you knew what you were doing and knew that the turbo was a little bit, jolty, and that
you have to know when the turbo is going to kick in.
But if you did that, I mean, it's dangerous, but that was kind of the fun thing about Porsches is they're supposed to be a little bit like, it's just a little Volkswagen.
Well, what baffles me about especially old school supercars with turbos is that they were commercial. They were just, everyone can have one, right? So, but a turbo, especially back then, if you were unaware of how those things work, how many people drove their car off the lot the first time, mashed the throttle, got it into second gear, and when they shifted to third and got to about 3,000 or 4,000 RPM and that turbo kicked in, how many people just lost control of the vehicle at that point? Like, I can imagine the sensation of not knowing that this turbo thing is going to happen.
Yeah, right? Just, I mean, have you ever been in a turbo car?
Yeah. Yeah.
You've had it kicked in.
Yes, and mine was a modified Honda Civic. Okay. And the terrifying thing about it, the launch was terrifying. Okay. 0 to 60 in like probably 4 or 5 seconds. It was super badass.
Yeah.
But the terrifying thing about the turbo is we were already going like 70, 80 miles an hour. And his a turbo boost kicked in, and it was just like launching from zero.
Yes.
It was just the same exact sensation, which was terrifying. Glued to the back of your seat. Yeah.
Hang on a second. It's 11 seconds. I have to hear this.
What?
Oh.
Exhaust note from a Porsche?
Sorry, air-cooled Porsche.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind the new Porsches. I think they're too quiet, but the old air-cooled ones. What's next on the list while I have an orgasm?
An American SUV.
Excursion.
The number 7 on this list is a Ford Explorer with Firestone tires. Do you remember this?
God.
Do you remember this?
It was much ado about nothing. I remember it quite well. I remember Dave Despain on Wind Tunnel ripped it apart, too.
What's that?
Dave Despain, who's a motorsports guy, he hosted a show called Wind Tunnel, and he ripped this myth apart.
It's a myth?
Oh, yeah, say flip over, but Car and Driver basically made the tire blow with remote control and never got anything.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. Sneaky bastards. Why'd they do that?
To test it, to test the car and see if it would actually flip.
They were testing the car and people took it as...
No. After the controversy, they were testing the car to see if it would actually flip.
Did it?
No, it never flipped.
All right, well, let's read. The Ford Explorer is, at first glance, a pretty normal, sporty family SUV.
It's fucking ugly.
Don't you hate that those words are next to each other in a sentence?
I hate the Explorer. I hate the Explorer. Anyway.
Listen to these words in a row.
No.
And pretty, normal, sporty, family, SUV. Fuck you, Ford.
How is it sporty?
It's not.
It looks like a wannabe off-roader.
It's a tumor.
It's a tumor.
It looks like a tumor.
It's a tumor.
It's
a tube. It's a tube.
It's got no tubes.
It's got no anyway.
You know what SUV does have tubes?
What?
The Land Rover. I rest my case.
Read it. You said you weren't going to go balls to the wall, but that broke.
This car is dangerous is rooted in two things: bad tires and poor stability. For many years, Ford had an exclusive partnership with Firestone Tires to supply tires for their new cars. Everything was well until the Ford Explorer hit for Ford, but what would be the end of the Ford and Firestone partnership. That was a shitty sentence. Even with defective tires, the car's over instability was still Ford's fault. The first of their many appearances on this list. Ooh.
See, I think the Firestone thing was just, I don't know. I think it was a red herring.
What I don't understand is if it's a myth, what's the motive?
Well, the motive was, hey, my car flipped over and Firestone tires are the cause. And look, there's a tire blown out.
And then Ford would say no.
No. Well, it was how am I going to get some money off of this? And basically bad press.
I can also imagine, okay, so Firestone probably blamed Ford, and Ford probably blamed Firestone.
We'll look this up and do a hangout on it another day because it's a whole big issue.
Well, that one maybe we'll do like vehicle or the car industry, motor vehicle industry controversies or something.
Yeah, okay. What's next?
Let's move on. It's a Suzuki.
You know, I didn't even know until about 2000 that Suzuki made cars. I always knew them as a bike brand.
They didn't make very many, honestly.
Well, yeah, they did. Yeah, they tried to go mainstream in the mid 2000s.
The Suzuki Samurai. That's a cool name for a car.
Yeah, but it's a
piece of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, photo take. I'm already a little bit peeved because this photo was taken from Top Gear USA. And the little caption
doesn't
says,
exist to me.
And this little caption says, that was a good episode. No, it wasn't.
It doesn't exist.
It wasn't a good episode. You know why it wasn't a good episode?
Because Top Gear USA sucks.
Because there's Top Gear USA and it sucks.
You know what the thing is? They could have had a good show, but there's two things. One, it was on History Channel, so it was only 44 minutes. Two, I hate one of the presenters. I have no idea who it is, and I hate Rutledge Wood and Tanner Faust with burning passions. Because
why do you
Rutledge
hate Faust so much?
Drifter. I hate people who drift.
Yeah, but he's not just a drifter. That dude beat the shit out of people on the what? It was a rally event. It wasn't actual rally. It was the
I've seen him in Rallycross. Yeah, whatever. I don't like the guy. I never have. I don't know. There's just something about him that I don't like. I've never liked
he was the only reason I actually somewhat liked it because he was so good at driving. Well, you know who would have been a really good fit for that? Would have been get somebody from Jackass.
No, I hate the show even more.
Get Ken Block would have been a good one.
No, I hate him too.
Why?
Ken Connor can kiss my ass.
Why?
Because he's too showy, man. I've seen him in Rallycross.
Yeah, but that's what he does. He puts together these amazing vehicles and has a studio, and they do.
Fine. But why are you racing?
Cool shit.
Why are you racing in Rallycross, Ken? You suck.
Yeah, he never did very good in that.
Well, the reason he didn't do very good is because he's a very showy person. His Rallycross style was awesome. It had like smoke and mirrors, but he just was not fat. I think who would be good for it would be someone like oh God.
Yeah, but you blame you don't like Faust dominated in Rallycross though.
Yeah, because he had the fucking Andretti Autosport VWs.
So no, he raced the Ford.
He races the Ford Fiesta. VWs now.
Well, is he still dominating?
Scott Speed just won his third title in a row.
Oh wow! Okay,
Scott Speed's a cool story. So he went up through the Red Bull ladder in single-seater racing and over in Europe, and then he went over to Formula One where he got screwed by Toro Rosso, the Red Bull Junior team. So then he goes over to NASCAR and gets screwed in NASCAR. So he's basically a laughingstock. He's found a good career for himself in global rallycross. I mean, good for him.
You know, rallycross is
some of that Faust's personality. He's too much like Rutledge Wood.
I will say that Faust does come off as a bit of a yuppie. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
but when it comes to vehicles and the ability to drive them, he was very cool to watch because he was just good at it.
But I mean, like, I watch Top Gear and I don't want to hear him. So whenever he's in Rallycross, besides I have to root for the Scandinavians in Rallycross. But come on, Scott, you haven't said one word about Rutledge Wood. Come on,
I don't know him very well.
Oh God, he's a NASCAR reporter, and he always has that very yuppified tone of voice.
Oh well, he sounds like a douche. You know, I think it was just a bad idea to try to replicate Top Gear. I mean,
the Australian show's pretty. I think someone like Tony Stewart would have been an interesting choice, actually.
Why not just make our own fucking car show?
Well, because no, because they had Top Gear Australia. They have a bunch of, and there aren't American car shows. But
no, I think my favorite car show that is American, that is just basically entertaining, is Roadkill. But it's not on TV. So
I think who they could get who would be like interesting and kind of funny. Who's American? Because they have to be American. He's Canadian, but James Hinchcliffe. Get it, James Hinchcliffe. He can fucking rule a show, and he's a good driver.
I would just prefer if they didn't just got rid of the Top Gear thing. Just go away from that.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that it was a syndicated because they have Top Gear Australia, they have Top Gear Asia.
I understand that, But America, America, God damn it, Stars and Bars needs to have their own show.
Why do they hate the Suzuki Samurai?
The Suzuki Samurai is a neat little 4x4. Something you might have enough bought. Something you might have even bought your kid back in the day.
No.
The reason that this car is dangerous is not to do with it being an overpowered beast, but that it has terrible handling and can even flip over. Well, in tests, it was shown that with little effort, it can be flipped over. Dude, this rider's terrible. In its defense, however, the next car is a tad bit more eager to flip.
What's the next car?
Reliant Robin.
I've seen them race. They're great.
Yeah, they are funny. I mean, what can you really say about Reliant Robins that haven't been said already? I mean, they're just goofy little fucking things. I mean,
I love it.
They would be really epic to own one. It would be.
Yeah, until you got put in the hospital.
I think in order for me to actually own one and not be in the hospital, I'd have to drop like $5,000 in it, just putting a roll cage in it and buying safety equipment and shit.
Yeah.
It would be too much fun to flip it on purpose. It would be way too much fun.
True.
So do we want to read about it?
I
don't. This rider sucks. Like,
yeah. What's next?
The Dodge Viper. And the picture they're showing for it is epic in the carnage department.
I'll agree with it.
It's.
I will agree with this.
Let's read it. No, I just need to describe this picture to you, Elliot. From the hood back, the top part of the body is gone. There's no front fender. There's no hood. There's no front quarter panels. There's no front doors.
Okay, there's no front.
It's just gutted.
Yeah,
it looks awesome. Anyways, if I told you V10 front engine, coupe, rear-wheel drive, and no electronic aids, the first thing that comes
too much weight on the front end. But what are we saying?
The first thing that comes to mind is whoever drives this has balls. The modern SVT Viper doesn't really count, as it now has traction control and is a lot safer. But the old beast is something we will never see made again. The exhaust, this dude is using exclamation points every other sentence. Even the exhaust on the sides can burn you. This car doesn't mess around. Doesn't mess around.
I'll say this about the Viper.
What?
The Viper is 3,400 pounds with a truck engine in it. I mean, it's not a small little effete European V10. It's a big ass modified truck V10. And when it first started, it only had 400 horsepower.
And you have to keep in mind the Dodge Viper was created basically by enthusiasts within Dodge. You know, just some hillbilly, basically.
They finally got it up to 650, and it was overpriced.
Now, the modern, like they were saying, the modern incarnation is seriously badass.
Overpriced.
Seriously. Yeah, of course it is. What supercar isn't?
So much more than the Corvette, and it's too big, and the engine's too big. It has a good exhaust note, but it's...
Have you seen the brand new one?
Yeah. It's still a truck engine.
If I'm not mistaken, that thing is finally sorted out.
Still too big, and the engine's still too big. I mean, not big as it.
We'll look at it later. I might be thinking about the newest Mustang. I
don't even think they're making them anymore.
I confuse the two of those sometimes. As cool as the burnouts are, you do not want to drive this car on a wet day. At least if you die, the V10 will be roaring the whole way. This rider's terrible. Oh my god.
Well, it's true, actually.
I mean, it's true, but just the way he constructs the sentences and uses exclamation points every sentence, and it's a disaster. Number 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you guess again. It is a Ford. It is from the 70s.
Pinto.
Everyone knows why this car is such a risk to drive. The results of poor planning and a rushed product would result with blood on Ford's hands, who determined it would be simply cheaper to pay off families of people who died due to the burning of the Pinto's poorly placed gas tank that would be punctured by the drivetrain in the rear along with the sparks to start a fire.
I love that, though.
Yeah, it's pretty vicious.
Yeah.
Ultimately, this car would go down as a failure for Ford, but also a lesson they would not soon forget. I counted no less than 3 misspelled words. Mispunction. I'm this fucker.
Well, fuck it. Okay, don't read it because let's just tell me what the car is and we'll talk about it. Why are we reading someone else's words?
It's fine. Well, it's well written. It's not bad. It was the top 50 we did the other day. That writer was awesome.
The next 2 we'll just talk about it.
The next one is a Ford, and it's very, very obscure, and you're never going to guess it.
Okay.
It is a Ford Nucleon.
Oh my god! I didn't even think the guy knew what this was.
It never got it out of conception, though. They never did anything. This should not be on the list. Okay. It never made it outside of the fucking.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't like this website anymore.
Okay, fuck it.
Ford Murderer Mustang is number 1.
Really?
I just don't think so. Do you want to try a different list, maybe?
Yeah, just type in most dangerous cars.
LOLwhat.com. Funny thing is, I bet the writer's better. The paragraphs look better constructed already. Anyways, the DeLorean DMC-12 is on this list.
Oh,
why?
Does no one else love the DeLorean?
I love the DeLorean. Why is it on this list?
Underpowered.
Yeah, but that's not dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hold on. Although DeLorean,
I'm gonna. You know what? Well, can we do a part 2? We'll keep this hanging, but I'm gonna go eat dinner in a couple minutes. So.
Okay.
And then and I'll be back, and then we'll do a part 2 if you're up for it.
If I'm up for it, I'll try.
But we'll talk. We'll talk about something until I go eat. But I don't want to start on anything yet. Oh, you still have to see the 76 the Niki Lauda crash. Watch that as we.
Nerb. I just typed Nerb. Nerb. It worked.
Nerb.
Niki Lauda crash Nerb.
Nerb.
Nurburgberg.
Gotta hate you.
All right. Here it comes. The crash. Oh, I better check if I'm screen sharing correctly, and I am. Okay. Celebrations. Yay. I don't care about all that. I just want to see the wreck.
Wreck.
All right, here we go. Here it comes. Damn. The video quality is absolute shit. Like, and it's not YouTube. It's the actual camera that they use.
Yeah, I know. Shitty. It's the home video. There was no...
but engulfed in flames. We're not talking his engine's on fire. His entire car is engulfed in flames. Wow.
Like I said, if it was a couple years earlier, he'd be dead.
Why's that?
Look at the car.
What did they do there?
Safety improvements, duh.
I understand. Which improvements?
Just all around safety improvements. Just everything.
Was that like cars? Was that like a big era where they focused on that?
You need to watch the movie Grand Prix: The Killer Years on YouTube. It's yeah.
Okay, I will.
That's a movie you need. That's a documentary you need to watch.
Hey, I kind of wanted to. Have you ever heard of the YouTube channel Regular Car Reviews?
Yeah, I looked at it. And it's good for what it is. Just me.
I enjoy it. He's an English major, and he's a good writer. Yeah, and his comedic timing's really good. And you don't get to see reviews of, Toyota Camrys.
Yeah. Why would I want to?
Well, in this case, like I said, he's a good writer, and he's got good comedic timing. He makes it interesting. Like, he even covers the history of the type of motor that's being used.
If you can make a Toyota Camry interesting, then I will pay for blowjobs for everyone.
I would recommend going and watch his channel a little bit more. Give it another chance.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do after I watch motorcycle racing, because fuck you.
Man, don't watch motorcycle racing. Wait till I'm ready to watch one. We'll do it maybe. Let me think. I got to think about when we can do that. Oh, by the way, guess what I have in my hand?
What?
It is in a white wrapper. It's about 5 inches tall and 3 inches wide, 4 inches wide.
Condom. So, I don't know.
Oh, man, that'd be one hell of a condom. A stroopwafel!
Oh, I hate you.
I've got them in my hands.
Oh, pass one over to me.
I'm going to save it for breakfast.
Yeah, I eat them for breakfast. And they're like, "What? It's not breakfast." I was like, "Yes, it's a waffle, dude."
It's a stroopwafel. What don't you get?
But,
I'm trying to think of other shit.
I mean, by the way, Scott, I mean most of the crashes in bike racing, the guys just get up. I mean, they've made really interesting suits that basically, when you hit the ground, the suit expands and cushions a lot of your, and
I'll get to know more about motorcycle racing, but I don't want to know about it right now. So shut up.
And you're on Speedway. Speedway motorcycles. They're not crotch rockets. They're I don't know what the hell they are.
They're things. I'm trying to think of other car culture sites.
Look up the Lotus 11. Look up the Lotus 11 and tell me if that's not the most beautiful car you've ever seen. Or if it looks like a phallus.
Hold on.
Night, you got me jealous.
It kind of looks like a dick.
Yeah, but look, it is
gorgeous.
Yeah, but it's
big blue gorgeous dick with wheels on it.
I'm glad we're recording, by the way.
Anybody who hears me say that and thinks to themselves, "That guy's a faggot," I guarantee you they're gayer than fucking Liberace.
Oh, okay. So before we go, I have to tell you about the Winged Express, because they told you that Wild Willie Borscht raced with one arm. Okay. The reason is the guy was 6'1" and over 200 pounds.
Hold on. I want people to see this thing. The Winged Express car. People got to see this absolutely insane thing. All right, it's playing in the background. Go ahead and tell your story.
He couldn't fit into the seat. He felt more. He wasn't trying to be dramatic. He just felt more comfortable with the arm resting on the bodywork.
Wow.
And he would drive the damn thing with one arm.
So people watching this, you just heard, man drives one of these things with one. Look at that thing. Look at it. Just bouncing around. Just fucking absolutely harrowing. Like,
he actually qualified in it was the Winter Nationals in '68, and he qualified 32nd and last in the top eliminator field, which was dragsters, and no one wanted to race with them, so they put Don Garlits in the field instead, and which is good because he actually ran the first race in the altered class, and he skidded across the center line, into the other lane.
Well, I mean, just look at it. It can't. He's barely controlling it. Like, the front wheels come off the ground. It's just squirreling around the whole time. I can't believe it's not in a million pieces.
The NHRA, you're thinking, why isn't this class like super, exciting? The NHRA basically relegated these cars to also ran status, as saying, "Oh, these cars are just hobbies," and so they focused more on the dragsters, which are great. I love dragsters, but I'm just saying,
honestly though, if I was the NHRA, you have to put yourself in their shoes. What sorts of insurance premiums are you going to be paying?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, for real. Like, look at that thing. But they do deserve their own place. I mean, look at it. I mean,
they have their own place now. It's called Famoso Raceway in Bakersfield. Now they're running low 5-second runs at 240 miles an hour, and they still do that. By the way, they still do.
Are you talking eighth mile?
The quarter mile.
5-second quarter mile.
590s and about 240 miles an hour.
No, 5-second quarter mile.
Well,
no.
yeah. Top field dragsters before they went to 1,000 feet were going 454.
Okay, so this is a Ford Mustang. Oh wait, a Toyota Supra. Okay, quarter mile, 5 seconds. Okay, I'm proven wrong again. I don't know much about drag racing, so
yeah, dude. Top field. Look up. I don't know what fastest quarter mile.
Jesus. If I read that sign correctly, that Supra just did it in 5 seconds at 387 or 287 miles an hour.
Probably got a souped up engine. Top fuel cars before they went into 1,000 foot due to safety concerns, they're going like 454 at 332 miles an hour.
All right, so
now they go 1,000 feet.
I typed in YouTube fastest quarter mile car on planet. It's 5.46 at 272.
That is no. That must be street car.
Okay. Well, it is a Camaro.
No, that is not the fastest quarter mile car.
Now I'm seeing one. It's 3.8 seconds, fastest top fuel.
That's 1,000 feet. Look up.
That's quarter mile.
No, that's 1,000 feet at 3.8 seconds.
It says 3.8 seconds, fastest top fuel quarter mile, ZMAX 2015.
No, they went 1,000 feet in 2008.
Hold on. Let's just look at the video.
I mean, it's great. I love it, but it's 1,000 feet. After Scott Coletta died because they went 2,000 feet.
Jesus, top fuel's crazy. Anyways, what do I need to type to find what you're looking for? This record.
Here, let me type in something. Fastest top fuel quarter mile run YouTube. Okay. Okay.
I'm seeing
No,
in
that's
1977 in
no.
the
Look up 2007 Top Fuel Pass.
2007 Top Fuel Pass. That's it?
Well, yeah, because 2007 is the last year they ran full quarter mile. They did in 2008 for most of the year or for part of the year, but then they went.
Amanda Shepard's first 4-second Top
No,
Fuel Pass
no.
record. 334 mile per hour nitro funny car record setting run. I need something specific here. What?
Okay, well, I'm looking. Okay, shut up. Jesus Christ.
Which division of drag racing are we focused on here?
Let's see. 2007 Top Fuel Final. You just it doesn't need to be a record. It just needs to be a pass. No. Let's see. Aha.
Oh, he said.
Tony Schumacher.
He makes shoes.
National record Pomona. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Tony Schumacher National Record Pomona.
Send it to me on Facebook.
Okay. I will.
I'm Elliot.
This is a full quarter mile. It's a couple years old because they, pro stocks go about low 6-second runs in quarter mile.
So why did they shorten it?
Scott Colletta was killed. And they were.
So what did the distance have to do with that?
Safety concern. They were afraid that there wasn't enough shutdown area. Basically, there wasn't enough, especially if the car got out of control or whatever. You need ample room to stop.
Sure.
And
So
a lot of the tracks were old, and there was not enough area to basically stop if the car were to get out of control.
So instead of making all these venues
well, a lot
add
of times
on,
they couldn't because they would be basically houses would be built on it, or for freeway. Basically, they were stuck with what they had for a lot of them.
Okay.
I sent you the thing on Facebook, by the way.
Oh, well, I was thinking instead of making all these venues add on, which would be impossible, just shorten it. Seems easy, but kind of sucks.
That's what they did. They shortened it to 1,000 feet. Well, and come on, 1,000 feet quarter. I mean, now they're going the funny cars are going 338 at 1,000 feet.
That's amazing. I just watched the video.
38 miles an hour. Yeah, you didn't think drag racing could go 5 seconds in a quarter mile? Jesus Christ. I mean, back when I was born, they were going low fours. Top Fuel was.
I'm sorry?
Back when I was getting into the sport, like 98, they're going like high to mid fours in Top Fuel. Funny cars would be about 5 seconds because funny cars are slower, or at least slower elapsed time. Now they're faster speed, but slower elapsed time.
Yeah.
Which I think is weird that the funny cars are actually faster. They go faster. It just takes them a while to get there.
Oh, top speed. Their torque's not quite as high then.
Well, it's weird because Nowadays, dragsters go about 328, 330 in 1,000 feet. Funny cars go 338 in 1,000 feet, but it just takes them longer to get there. Heavier car, shorter wheelbase, drag, things like that. Because funny cars have a body on them.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the only Toyota Camry you can make interesting is a funny car.
Yeah,
Toyota
well, I'm
Camry.
sure that they've done that.
I could. Oh, so I looked up the Shockwaves, and those are real trucks. They're old Peterbilts.
Oh,
Someone just put rockets on.
what was that one series you showed me with the big fucking fire truck looking things?
Oh, the Dakar trucks. I'm watching a Top Fuel Harley video right now.
The Dakar trucks. People of Earth, look. BF Goodrich is gonna sue us, by the way.
I was watching a Top Fuel Harley video. They're really heavy bikes, 1,000 pounds, and they're 1,000 horsepower, and they go
Jeez.
212 miles an hour down the quarter mile on a motorcycle.
Wow, fuck that.
And they blow up. And when they blow up, they blow up big. Good stuff.
I need to share this with my buddy Art. He's into cars. Oh, do you remember the supercar, the Gumpert?
No.
You don't remember that?
The fuck is the Gumpert?
It was a British-made guy and some people just really passionate made it in their garage, and there's like a one-off thing. Well, they got funding, changed. They're an actual company now, and they've created a new supercar. But when my buddy Art showed it to me, car culture has got to a point where when you show me a new supercar, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like, oh, okay. I mean,
we've seen so many.
I'm more interested now in heritage, and like I'd rather see Ferrari build something than a new. Well, unless you're talking like Koenigsegg, where the guy's
it's not just how it looks; it's how it drives. But obviously, you can't see how it drives. You're just looking at the looks.
Yeah, well, I'll never ever be able to sit in any of those cars, let alone drive. So now that's not true. In Bowling Green, Kentucky, there is a racetrack that will rent out vehicles to you, along with training. I want to do that so bad.
Let's see what else. Yeah, right.
That is something that if I ever like made a get together with all my internet friends, that is something I would make us do. We would go do that. Like everybody save up about $1,000.
Okay, really quick before I go to dinner, there's another crash from 2017, Indy 500. This one was in qualifying.
A crash? What is it? Tell me what it is.
Just type in 2007 Indy 500 qualifying crash YouTube. Because this knocked him out of the season. He was actually doing really well, and it locked him out of pretty much the entire season.
Sebastian Bourdais?
Bourdais.
No.
He's a 36-time race winner and 4-time champion.
Was it Marco Andretti?
It's Bourdais.
Yeah, but that one is from 2017.
That's what I said.
I thought you said 2007.
I said 2017.
My bad. All right, so here it goes. Jesus Christ. Oh my God! Oh shit! Shit! Oh, That's heart-wrenching, dude. He goes squirrely for a half second, and that's ball game.
Yep. And people say, well, Indy's safe now, right? I mean,
Yeah,
he
okay.
only had a couple broken bones.
Jesus, I wonder how fast he was going.
220.
I think I had his statistics up. Hold on.
Yeah,
His average was 231.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That was the fastest lap of the day.
230 miles an hour. He hit that wall.
Yep.
God damn.
And he was back racing within, what, 4 months? 3 months?
See, okay, back to Dale Earnhardt Jr. now.
All
right? You watch that wreck at 230 miles an hour. Right? That looked deadly.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't. But see...
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I mean, but there's been some pretty bad crashes at Indy lately. I was in Sacramento for the flat track races, which is a great flat track motorcycle, and I watched it over dinner. That was an interesting thing to watch over dinner.
Yeah, man.
Fucking
man, that's such so hard. I remember you used to talk about like how it bugged you that you were a fan of racing while these people put their lives on the line for you. And
well,
yeah, I kind of get that now because it's like especially the Dale Senior death. I mean, just looking at everything surrounding that wreck. It's not just a race car driver. This dude had family, lineage.
It wasn't so much. It was because I've seen, the Greg Moore and Dan Weldon crashes live, and it does kind of get to you that are these people doing this for my entertainment? And even though the answer is no, they're doing it because they love to do. You subconsciously do kind of think, are these people doing it for my entertainment? Risking their lives. So you do kind of think that after a bad crash.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
But
I can
what
never
a crazy
get out of,
sport.
I can never get out of racing. It's in my blood, man.
Well, I'm addicted to basically commercial vehicles. Not so much into motorsports, but I can get into it sometimes here and there.
I firmly believe racing is in your blood, or at least in mine. Commercial vehicles, meh. It's just, I don't know. They're interesting.
I think it's interesting that you and I can have conversations where the two intersect.
But it's like, okay, why am I buying a Ferrari that goes 200 miles an hour for the road?
You're not going to be able to. Yeah, you're not going to. No.
Why?
No.
But if I buy one for a track.
Yeah, if you buy one for the track, it makes sense. But again, you have to remember, modern supercars are designed in such a way that you can daily drive it.
Yeah, but why would I want to?
Switches, and now it's, now it's a track car.
Why would I want to daily drive it? It is laughing at me.
Yeah, right.
The car's laughing at me because it's going so it could do so much more than I'm doing it. I mean, I'm not saying I want a Honda Civic, but it's just I don't know.
There's this guy at work. He's like, dude, the best car in the world, and I'm gonna have one day. It's a Bugatti Veyron. I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. The only reason you're saying that is because it just set the record. It was at the time where it was right when it set the record, like 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, and it was in all the news and everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, dude, I will. This dude's so badass. Like, yeah, it's incredible. It truly is an incredible machine. But what you don't understand is not only upfront costs being over $1 million, but your insurance is probably going to be something like $3,000 to $4,000 a month.
And
just
the car's
that,
not meant for driving down the road.
And not only that, but when you buy a Bugatti Veyron, it is not a car that you take home and put in the garage. Okay.
Nope.
This is not a car that if something goes wrong with it, that you'll be able to find somebody around town to help you with. No.
No.
Just the labor of replacing one part would financially ruin you. Like, you're not getting a Bugatti Veyron. And no, it's not the best car in the world. It's just not.
No, everyone knows the best car in the world is a Land Rover
Don't say
Defender.
it. Oh,
Land Rover.
okay.
What do you think? What did you think I was gonna say?
That fucking commie car.
The turbo? No. I mean, I love it, but even I'm not that stupid. Yeah, I mean, you think
I can respect
well,
someone saying that a Land Rover Defender
it
would
is
be the best
awesome,
car in the world.
isn't it?
I can respect that. It's more sensible. Like, for me, for what I want in a car, I can't point to one car. I can't do it. But a Grand Touring kind of car, you know, like
Mazda RX-7.
like those things are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like your Aston Martins, your big Beamers, your big Mercs, those kind of cars. I like those. They're practical.
I refuse to say anything good about BMWs.
Huh?
I refuse to say anything good about BMW cars.
Why?
People who drive them.
Oh, well, don't blame the car for that.
I have to. Besides, BMW just never impressed me.
They're not the most impressive thing in the world, but they're still
I do
really
like the
good
Batmobile,
cars.
though.
Huh?
I do like the Batmobile, though.
Which one?
The BMW Batmobile.
I don't know which one that is.
Type it in Google, you.
I'm doing it.
It's a racing car. And look at it.
Oh, yeah, that thing's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I have
like
a soft spot.
70s, 80s BMW is where it's at, honestly.
I have a soft spot for the 2002. I know it looks really square, but
what is it?
the 2002, the BMW 2002. I know it looks really square, but I like it.
It's cool. No, I like those old Beamers, man. I really do. Around the same time, the Audi Quattro, that thing is so fucking badass.
I remember when they had them in Trans Am racing, the Audi Quattro, and they kicked ass on the Camaros and Vettes in '88. And
yeah, Audi Quattro, when that thing hit the scene, forget it.
They banned them next year.
Yeah,
I
they
like
tried
the
to ban
Skyline.
that shit. Oh, well, yeah, that's just a fucking classic. I mean, forget it.
It's a PlayStation on wheels.
Yeah, and the modern iteration of it, the GTR, is an amazing vehicle. That is exactly the car I rebutted him with.
I don't know anything about the new GTR, though.
When he said Bugatti Veyron, I was like, dude, Nissan GTR. Fuck your fucking Bugatti. Sure, you can beat me in a straight line after a while, but you're not going to beat my car because you're going to run out of gas.
I wonder how the Bugatti Veyron is going around corners, too.
It's okay. I mean, it's not what it's built for.
What do you think of that Volkswagen car? The one that was a luxury car that can go 200 miles an hour?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Phaeton?
Oh, Phaeton?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool car. That's something I'd be interested in.
The problem is it's the name of it. It's a Volkswagen, the people's car.
Yeah,
that is not a people's car.
That's gone. Forget it.
I don't like any new Volkswagens. I don't know.
You know, that looking at it now, no, I wouldn't want that. It's too much of I work at an office. It's too much that. Yeah. That's why I always go towards Aston Martin, because
my favorite supercar, even more so than the old air-cooled Porsche 911, will always be, and this is only because I have a soft spot for the people who built it, the Panos Esperante.
Spell that for me, please.
Oh fuck! I don't know how to spell it.
What is it? Just say it again.
The Panos Esperante.
Try my best with it, folks. Oh my God, that's beautiful.
They used to race those, and Don Panos was in charge of my favorite series, and I have a soft spot for the whole Panos organization.
Wow, that's a gorgeous car. I gotta remember, there's a Volkswagen. Hold on, I gotta figure it out. It's a gorgeous car.
I know you're not that into racing, but I want you to do a little comparison for me.
Hold on a second. Let me figure this out real quick. I have to.
The Volkswagen fuckboard.
Yeah. The fuck board.
I didn't even know what the hell we were talking about last night. It was just, what? Oh, I am so hungry.
Hold on, I gotta find this car, dude. It's such a beautiful car.
If it's a Volkswagen.
No. I'll have to look for it.
Just before I go, do a little comparison.
Okay.
You've seen the modern day Indy cars, the Dallara DW12s with the fender skirts and things like that.
Yeah.
Compare that to a Panos DP01 Champ car from 10 years ago. And tell me which one looks better.
All right. So, what am I typing for the first one?
Dallara DW12. It's the modern day Indy car.
Okay, hold on. Let me just type that. Modern day Indy car. Okay, image. All right, got one. And then the second one?
Panos DP01, DP01.
And this is from 10 years ago?
This is the last ever Champ car from 10 years ago.
Okay, so you want me to compare the two?
Well, which one do you think looks better? And by the way, if you see the wrong one, you'll be shot.
Looks wise. Hold on, let me look at him.
Hi.
Give me a minute. Okay. I don't know, man. I don't think it's really good to compare the two. They're so different.
Well, I think the DW12's desperately ugly. I mean, it's not as bad as the old crap wagon, but that's the name we used for the old IRL cars. But the Panos is just such a beautiful car. I'm so sad they only used it 1 year and then the series folded. I want that car back.
That one looks very utilitarian, whereas the new one looks like they want you to look at it.
It looks overgrown and fucking.
Well, I can't imagine all of that stuff is just for looks, though. Either.
Yeah, I don't even think it really does its job. I mean, the Panos is speedway tested and stuff. I think it's more of a reaction, but yeah. Well, at least it's better than the old. Just type in crap wagon into Google Images and see what comes up.
Crap wagon.
see if any Indy cars come up.
Crap wagon.
Yes.
Yeah, the very first image is an Indy car.
Now that's ugly.
It is. Yeah, that is ugly.
I mean, I know I don't really like the DW12, but compared to that one,
you know. But the thing is,
that car looks retarded. It looks like it has a learning disability.
It looks from 93. Would that be about right?
No, it's from
Okay.
2000.
That one,
It's from
so
2004
this
through
one I'm looking at,
2011.
the one I'm looking at now from 93 is actually pretty awesome. But the one from, I don't know, let me visit. So 2008?
Yeah, that's a crap wagon. Yeah, the 93 one, I don't even know why the 93 one's there, but yeah, the 2008 one.
2008 Indy car.
Yeah.
Get a better look at it. They're ugly.
Yeah, that's a crap wagon. So because I like to get your opinion on the looks wise, because I don't do this very often. I have one more car for you to look up. 2009 Daytona prototype. And tell me if you think it looks like. Well, I'm not going to prejudice you, but
okay. So this is like a Le Mans style car.
No,
Is that what I'm?
2009
2009
Daytona
prototype.
Yes.
I'm looking at what looks like one of those kinds of series cars, like maybe send me a link, because
what
you got to send me.
What does it look
You have
like?
to, I don't know what it looks like. It looks like one of those cars that you find on at Le Mans or those kind of race cars.
It's a sports racing car, but it's not Le Mans. It should look like a bubble. It should have a fucking bubble top.
It kind of does, yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the worst looking cars I've ever seen.
It does look dumb. I mean,
yeah, that thing never raced at Le Mans. Thank fuck.
What are those cars called?
Le Mans prototypes.
Not the Grand Touring type, but the other one, the other
Le Mans
series.
prototype. They're called Le Mans prototypes, LMP.
Yeah, those things are so I love those. Those are so sexy. Like
LMP cars?
Yes. Oh.
Here, I'm going to take a little break. I will send you a list of racing cars.
Okay.
That we can talk about.
All right. I might or might not be up for it. My throat is on fire right now. Yeah. I'll try to take care of it, but we'll talk in a little bit.
All right. If not, we can talk on Facebook or whatever.
All right, later, man. See ya, everybody. You suck.
Dangerous cars.
Dangerous.